2024 National League Central. What a mid-ass division this is. My God, what a mid collection of teams. Doesn't mean there aren't guys on each team that are good or electric or have potential. But what a mid-ass division. Mid. So mid. Pirates, Cardinals, Cubs, Brewers, and Reds. National League Central. I didn't even know what to make of this division. We're going to dive into it and give some predictions and projections. But man, is this division mid. And we'll get into it. 2024 predictions for the National League Central. 5th place, I got the Pittsburgh Pirates. Right? Projected win total 75.5. Last year they won 76. World Series odds are plus 2,000. This team is working its way up. They're starting to do things a little bit better. They're starting to build up that young core to a degree. Ryan Reynolds locked up to a long-term contract. They signed a couple of like interesting and kind of oddball contracts this past offseason. Like I think they signed a Aroldis Chapman. So it's like, okay. I guess. They re-signed Andrew McCutchen. He's going to DH. So it's, we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's not enough there for this team to ever really challenge anybody. Doesn't mean they don't have young, controllable talent that's good or things to look forward to. 2 different things for me for players to watch. Number 1, Paul Skeens. Everyone knows, first overall, right-handed pitcher, LSU, 6'5", throws 100 ETAs this season. He's going to be a guy, right? He's going to be a stud. He throws really hard. I just really, 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 really hope he can stay healthy. I just really hope he can stay healthy. That would be awesome if he could stay healthy, but we'll see what happens. I like Paul Skeens. He's a guy to watch. Keep an eye on it. Pirates fan or not. Everyone knows him at this point, and it's an obvious pick, but still had to put him there. The other guy to watch for, man, O'Neal Cruz. O'Neal Cruz last year, I think just really got bogged down by the injury bug. But 2 years ago, he was like the StatCast nightmare guy where he was hitting balls like 120 miles an hour every day and hitting like top spin line drive home runs and like breaking StatCast records for velos from across the diamond at shortstop. He's a freak. And then he kind of got hurt last year and then like kind of people forgot about him, but like he's a freak. So please don't forget about O'Neal Cruz. Please keep him on your list of players to watch. I certainly have him there. And yeah, that's what I got for the Pirates players to watch. 76 and 86 last year, 75.5 for the win total this year. I've got him at 74 and 88. Middle tier, not the worst record I've ever seen. Not good in terms of record. That's 5th place, but 74 wins, 5th place. You're thinking like, because I don't know, I'm just saying there's some other teams that maybe you put in the same basket as the Pittsburgh Pirates, but they're going to lose or they're going to win like 65 games or 60 games. That's not the Pirates. The Pirates are going to win 74. They'll be fine. Got some things to look forward to. Henry Davis, Paul Skeens. Just got to be patient. If you're a Pirates fan, be patient. If you're somebody who roots for the Pirates in any degree, it's going to be a little bit more time. The 74 and 88 for them in 2023. 4th place, I've got the St. Louis Cardinals. And this one just kind of puzzles me. Last year, 71 and 91. 71 and 91. That is really bad. That's like really, really bad. And the Cardinals, they were a team in 2023 where if something could go wrong, it did. If they could find a way to lose a game, they would lose. They never had any breaks go their way. They wildly underperformed. I also think they just, as a team and as an organization, still kind of operate in that like more kind of old-fashioned mindset. And what I mean by that is like they don't like, it's not like they don't care about numbers or analytics, but it's like letting Adam Wainwright last year go out there every 5th day was crazy. Adam Wainwright was miserable last year and he just rolled him out there every 5th day. So it was interesting. And they had Yachty and they had Albert Pujols and, it's just like they underperformed and it was an ugly year. Their win total is 84.5 this year. World Series odds are plus 3,200. Players to watch for sure. Tink Hence is right-handed pitcher for them with an ETA of this season, so you could see him contributing to the rotation at some point this year. Mason Wynn was up for the Cardinals last year a little just speedster infielder with good bat tool and could pop the ball out of the yard every once in a while, but is going to be one of the guys, if the Cardinals plan on becoming relevant in the next few years. Mason Wynn will be a part of that. He's going to be a key piece, and he can fly, man. He can run. He's got a big arm. Good athlete. Like he'll be good for them. And I like Mason Wynn, and he's a guy to watch for this season. So 71 and 91 for the Cardinals, 84.5 for their projected win total. World Series odds plus 3,200. I've got them this year 81 and 81. That's a 500 record. It's a 10-game improvement from last year. I don't think the Cardinals are horrendous. I mean, clearly I've got them in 81 and 81. I just think similar to what happened with the Mets last year, where it's just like every possible thing that could have gone wrong did, and then they wildly underperformed, and then it just compounded on itself. I think that lingers. It's going to hang around a little bit. It's hard not to think about what just happened last season. However, they have Nolan Arenado. They have Paul Goldschmidt. They have Mason Wynn. They have Jordan Walker and Nolan Gorman and Lars Nootbaar. Like, they have guys, but it's not enough guys. When you look at their rotation, they signed Sonny Gray. That's good. And then they signed Lance Lynn. That's bad. You know, like, it's kind of that where it's like Paul Goldschmidt was fine last year, but not as good as he was or can be. Nolan Arenado was fine last year, you know, so it's like in any way repeats itself. This is exactly where they're going to be. Also, 81 and 81 is pretty good record for a team that's all the way down in fourth place. I'll say it again. This division is mid as it gets. Middle. 81 and 81, fourth place for the Cards. Third place, Milwaukee Brewers. I believe they were the division champs last year, if I'm not mistaken. 92 and 70. Okay. 77.5 projected win total. Okay. World Series odds plus 8,500 means nothing. Third place team, you know, just a middle tier team. I just don't know what else to say. The Brewers are just kind of that okay team, right? Made the playoffs last year, played the D-backs, and just got roasted in the first round. They lose Corbin Burns. That's not good. I guess they have Freddie Peralta. Brandon Woodruff is out indefinitely. So it's like, what do they have? Christian Yelich is just not the same guy that he used to be. This team is fine, but just not great. Players to watch, I don't have one or two guys particularly listed. I have their whole farm listed. What I mean by that is, A, they have a really good farm system. Jackson Churrio's their top prospect, and he's a top 5 prospect in all of baseball. But number 2, of like their top 30, or I think it was like their top 10 prospects, 8 of them have an ETA of this season. So they're going to be calling a ton of dudes up. Keep an eye on the whole farm for the Milwaukee Brewers. Seriously, the whole farm. Like, there's 7 to 10 guys that they could have called up in a regular rotation. And I mean regular rotation, like in the lineup regularly or pitching regularly, contributing regularly from the minor leagues. 7 to 10 guys. That's crazy. It's not very common. So keep an eye out for the Brewers. Keep an eye out for their whole farm, because it's going to be a big part of their season this year. 92 and 70 last season, 77.5 win total this season. I've got the Brewers at 82 and 80. This is a game better than the Cardinals. This is a game better than 500. This is as middle tier as it gets. It's not the worst record I've ever seen. It's not a good record. It's not good enough to get into the playoffs. It's good enough for third place in the National League Central. That's just what it is. Middle ass division, middle ass team. Nothing you could do about it. 82 and 80, third place in the National League Central. Second place, I've got the Reds. The young, hungry, ready to go Reds. Ready Reds, right? That's how you could say it, I guess. 82 and 80 last year. That's an improvement. Win totals 81.5, so it's about the same. World Series odds are plus 5,000. Man, do the Reds have a lot of young, controllable talent. Man, are the Reds kind of cool, kind of exciting. Ellie De La Cruz might be one of my favorite non-Padres players in Major League Baseball. And it's interesting to see. Jonathan India, Aaron Ashcraft, Ellie. Unfortunately, no more Joey Votto, but it had to happen at some point. Matt McClain, Encarnacion Strand, like, they have guys. So that's why I got him in second place. More guys for them to watch, players to watch. And one of the guys I left off the list so I could talk about him now was Will Benson. Will Benson is just the definition of just like, the ceiling is so high for this guy. Left-handed hitting outfielder at that ballpark, 6'5", 240 pounds. When he hits the ball square, it's a rock. And if he can just get it figured out, cut down on the swing and miss, cut down and improve on the on base in any capacity, Will Benson will be a good player. Keep an eye out for him. He's young. He's controllable. He's not one of the guys, first probably 5-6 guys you would find or list on this team as like, oh, he might be good, right? But he's a player to watch for me. The other guy to watch for is Rhett Louders, a right-handed pitching prospect for them. He could potentially be up and contributing for them as well. Keep an eye out for both of those guys in the Reds system or on the Reds team. Will Benson and Rhett Lauder. 82 and 80 last year for the Cincinnati Reds. 81.5 for their win total this year. I got them in 86 and 76. I think that's good enough for wild card 2. And that means they're in the playoffs. I hope the Reds get in the playoffs, but 86 and 76 is still only good enough for second place in this division, barely. And you'll see what I'm saying. This team could also very much win this division because it is just so mid. Like it is so mid. The Reds could very easily win the National League Central this year. I've got them 86 and 76. Obviously, just kind of lacking that experience that you might need to get it done in crunch time towards the end of the year in the division rival games when they play the Cubs, when they play the Brewers. You know, it's like, do they have that extra giddy up? I think in a lot of places they do. Other places they just lack. And in those places they lack, it's mostly experience. So Reds, second place, National League Central, 86 and 76. First place, I got the Cubs. This is an interesting prediction, and I think I might be wrong with this. This is like maybe the most least confident first place pick I have had and probably will have in this entire process. Like I said, the National League Central is just such a mid division. I don't know if I've said that already 100,000 million times. Because of that, it kind of leaves it up in the air for who could actually come away with this division. And it also means that there could be a division winner with like 87 wins. In the case of the Cubs, they went 83 and 79 last year. Their projected win total is 84.5. They re-signed Bellinger. They lost Stroman, but it's like they got, Justin Steele. They signed Shoto Omanga, and he's listed as one of my players to watch, left-handed pitcher, going to come in and be an impact starter for them right away. And he's proven professional baseball player just coming over from Asia. He's going to be good. He was a highly sought after guy, and the Cubs landed him, and I think he's going to be good. Another guy to watch for the Cubs is Pete Crow Armstrong, who was up briefly for them last year, but he was a big time outfield prospect. And he's just your very stereotypical great glove, good arm, defensive plus guy, needs to work on the hitting tool. But if he can get that figured out, he's going to be a big piece for them. And if Cody Bellinger repeats what he did last year, this team's going to be good. I don't love the Cubs. I don't hate the Cubs. I have them in first place in the National League Central. Don't read too much into that. 83 and 79 last year. I've got them at 87 and 75. It's fine, right? It's just it's going to be the lowest record of all the division winners, I think, across baseball, definitely in the National League. And I don't think this team, if they get into the playoffs, if they win this division, they're going to make any sort of crazy deep. Oh no, they lack a lot of depth. But they have the pieces to get it done. And I think of all the teams in National League Central, they're coming off like the best year where they kind of exceeded expectations and then improved a little bit as a team. That means to me they're going to be just as good or better. So why not at least give them a shot? Putting them at first place, 87 and 75 of the National League Central, and recapping the final standings. Cubs in first place, 87 and 75. Reds in second place, 86 and 76. That's a 1-game win, by the way. Cubs win the division by 1 game. 86 and 76 for the Reds. 82 and 80 for the Brewers. 81 and 81 for the Cardinals. 74 and 88 for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And that means there's 4 teams in this division at 500 or better. But that means there's also 5 teams in this division without 90 wins. It's going to be that type of year for the National League Central. Feel like it's kind of been like that since the Cubs' reign, quotes, if you will, ended in 2016-17. Ever since then, it's just been a bunch of middle tier baseball. And that's what it's going to be again in the NL Central. Pirates in 5th, Cardinals in 4th, Brewers in 3rd, Reds in 2nd, Chicago Cubs in 1st, winning that division in 2024.